All right, going to start my 3-day today. So I went and got some groceries. I got some chicken salad at Sam's. And I always feel like the store-bought chicken salad is a little bit heavy on the mayonnaise, light on the chicken. So I also got some of their rotisserie chicken that was cut up and refrigerated, and I'm going to add some chicken to that to expand it. I just was not in the mood to make my own today. I'm gonna multiply it by adding some more chicken. But we're working a 3-day and we're going to have overnights downtown in New York City, Grand Rapids. It's gonna be a good trip, no drama. This is my last trip for July and I'm only working 2 trips in August. And then I sold my trip last week because I was needed at home, and that's just the wonderful flexibility of my job. So I'm gonna get this food prep going, then we'll get packed up and headed out. Made it to the employee parking lot. So they're changing the way that we get into the parking lot. For me, I have a toll pass if your city has a toll highway or whatever, and you can link it to that, or you can get a sticker that you can get. I registered like 2 months ago, but they had a guy at the front gate and it didn't work. And so I'm like, brr. So they gave me a new QR code to try. So fingers crossed that it works, because it's actually switching over on August 2nd. It was supposed to switch over June 25th. Yeah, getting all employees of the airport, which I think badged employees in Denver is something like 33,000. If I remember right. I used to be a signer for a thing called a SITA badge. That's for the people who work on airport property typically, for them to get in and out of the airport doors. And I was a signer, so I made sure that all of our ground employees' badges were up to date. I signed their applications. So they always had funny facts when you had to hold. So yeah, I think there's like 33,000 badged employees at Denver International Airport. It's crazy. They switched our aircraft for some reason, and I keep looking for a bus. And so now we're delayed. I need to check in at 3:05 local. It's 2:35. So I'll go in, I'll get a cup of coffee. I'll take it easy. The plane was coming in from Chicago, not Midway, but O'Hare, and they just switched it to another plane, and that plane's not due in, I think, until 4:30. So we're gonna be late. It's one flight to LaGuardia today. One flight where it looks like we're completely full. It'll probably be about 3.5 hours. And so one and done, that'll be nice, but I have to get up. You guys push me to go do things. So that's the thing about the YouTube channel, is you guys push me to go and get out of my hotel room and do something. Thank you for doing that, because I am tired. We have been renovating a house. My husband's a real estate agent, and one of the services he offers is like project management for people who, they want this amount of money for their house, but in current condition is this, and he gives them options. We have contractors who do most of the work, like the painting, and we're getting all new flooring in this house, but we did the demo of all the current flooring. And then I will be tiling the backsplash. So your girl's tired. I'm very ready to go to work. I had this in giveaway. I had some money on it, but I was like praying that it didn't go because I got rid of my truck last week. So I am happy to go. I'm gonna have to look up and see if there's anything to do in Grand Rapids. I haven't been there in a long time. So bus just went by, so I'm gonna wait for one, and hopefully there'll be one in about the next 5 or 10 minutes, and we'll head to the airport and see what's happening. It's just the Denver weather. I just walked through the concourse and heard somebody say that we're on a ground stop till at least 4:30. It is 3:30. Our plane, we had another swap. So now our plane's coming from Oklahoma City and they're going around the weather. Also, there was lightning within 3 miles, which means all of the ramp agents have to get off the ramp for lightning being within 3 miles of the airport. So it's gonna be an interesting one. We finally got on the plane. It had to go through customs and then it had to be cleaned and then it finally got towed over here. And we're going to New York. So we had people going up to the operations agent like, where's our plane? Did it go back to Mexico? And we're like, so we're on the plane, one and done, 3 hours and 2 minutes. Here we go. New York City. We made it. What a night. What a night. So 4 aircraft swaps. We had to wait forever for our plane. Our plane came in from Mexico, so it had to go through customs. It had to be cleaned, kind of like the Fort Lauderdale trip last week. And then it finally got towed over to our gate. We get everyone on board at 6:15. We're all buttoned up. Everything's done. We find out we're on hold until 7 p.m. And we're on hold and they won't even let us close the door so we can get paid and go out and wait because they don't want us burning fuel. Because I think we were wheels up about 7:20. So we wait, we hang out. At least this way the people can get up and use the bathroom. They were all pretty chill considering we were delayed. The flight should have taken 3 hours and 2 minutes. That's what the pilot told us when we left. It took us 3 hours and 46 minutes. It was the bumpiest continuous flight I think I've ever worked. We barely got drink service out. Since it was such a long flight, we were supposed to do a primary drink service, a drink service in the middle, and then an hour before landing, coffee and water. But we basically barely got first service out. And then by the time we were able to get up again, we were an hour and 17 minutes out. So we decided to do a water service. I was gonna do coffee. I love doing coffee, but it was so bumpy that I didn't feel secure carrying a tray of coffee out in the cabin. So we just did water. Got here, but like along the way, holy cow, the lightning and the clouds was just outrageous. It was so beautiful. Storms in Chicago. We landed here in LaGuardia. There was still a flight that was waiting, hoping to push to get to Chicago. But we hear Chicago is still a mess, even now. So currently it's almost 2 a.m. I'm so tempted to go to Times Square. It's right down the street. But if you remember from my last New York vlog, we did that. I've been to Times Square many times. It's still 89 degrees outside. I want to just eat a little bit. They don't have refrigerators in these hotels, but I want to eat a little and then I want to see if I can get up and go to maybe Chelsea Market. That might be a little bit ambitious. It's like a 16-minute train ride from here. Or one of our pilots, our FO, said that they had been closing down the street in front of the hotel and have had like a street fair type of thing with like more food trucks than you would normally have in New York City and like people selling things. So maybe we'll do that tomorrow. It's supposed to be hot here. We have to fly back through Denver tomorrow. Fingers crossed it's not super drama. I also have the rest of my trip in giveaway. I think I've told you this before. If I go back through my base, I can rip or sip the trip apart and give away part of it. So I do have the 2-day giveaway. I have cash on it. We'll see. Otherwise, we're going to Grand Rapids tomorrow as the plan, but your girl's gonna eat something and go to bed. The hotel room is pretty small, New York City. You know, I don't tell you where we are and you're like, Elizabeth, you know, I don't tell you the names of our hotels because it's a security thing. I hope you guys can understand that. There have been people who've stalked flight attendants. So I purposely don't tell you where we stay. Some of you guys might be able to figure it out, but in general, that's why. So I'm gonna get ready for bed and hopefully we'll go out and do some fun things tomorrow. Well, my flight back to Denver, that was our first leg today. LaGuardia to Denver, Denver to Grand Rapids. Well, it's canceled. So I'm not really sure what's going on. My friend Dawn's in Boston and her flights are canceled back to Denver as well. So I don't know if it's New York airspace because they've been having issues or if it's Denver weather that's gonna happen this evening, but we're gonna go out. We're gonna go out. Now I think I'm determined to go to Chelsea Market. So we're gonna jump on the subway, which makes me a little bit nervous. I've done it, but I usually do the subway with somebody else. I can do it, I'm a big girl. But we'll go to Chelsea Market, we'll check things out before it gets too hot out. So it is currently, I think, 11:30. I originally set my alarm for 10, and then I needed to sleep a little bit longer, and so let's go see what's going on in New York today. So crazy turn of events, no flying today. They're having us stay here So I'm gonna get tickets to the musical New York, New York. I think it's a musical. My good friend Dawn, her son's in Wicked on Broadway. So she's always here. She comes to see all the shows. So we're gonna get tickets. We're gonna go see the show. All right, so I just walked through Chelsea Market. I got my husband a gift since he's so kind, and he said, go out and have some fun, because I got tickets. My crew, we're gonna go see the musical New York, New York. It closes tomorrow, and since we don't leave until tomorrow now, we're gonna go to the 8 p.m. show. Tomorrow, we're gonna be tired because it's 2.5 hour show. And our flight, we have to report tomorrow at 6 a.m., which means we have to leave the hotel an hour and a half before that. So I'm still walking around. I'm gonna walk up to, I'm across from Pier 57. So I'm just walking around. One of my crew, look at my hair. My crew made reservations at an Italian place, so we'll go eat Italian tonight. Then we'll go to a show. And you know, honestly, this is why we became flight attendants. Typically, we don't get to spend 2 nights in a city, but it's kind of like we're getting back the hours we lost yesterday when we took that huge delay. And it has been such a summer of travel that I have been so blessed to be canceled in 2 of some of the greatest cities. Remember, I got canceled and got to do San Francisco a whole nother day, and now I'm canceled and I'm in New York City. I mean, I could cry. It's been a hard summer, and I feel like this is my little reward for just persevering. You know, it's like when somebody buys you free lunch for going to work. I walked 3.5 miles. I am so sweaty, so gross, but back at the room, had to go back downstairs and check in and just get my key reactivated since we're staying another night. Took the subway. It's been a while, so got out of going the wrong way to go to Chelsea Market, but I figured it out pretty quick, and then I rectified the situation. Yeah, we're gonna go out for Italian food tonight and go to the show, and our van time tomorrow is at 5:10, so whew, I'm blessed. This is a blessed trip. I bought, oh, look at what I bought for my daughters. 8th Street was closed down, so I got them hats. They were $5. So I took pictures of all of them. Hannah's gonna swim in this hat, but I didn't wanna leave her out. I'll give this to my husband before he sees the video. I got this for my husband. We got engaged at the Statue of Liberty, so I just thought that was hilarious. I also got my kids some candy. Yeah, got some candy for my kids. And I got myself a bag of chips. Yeah, I'm gonna deal with this situation. I don't have any pants, I just have shorts, but we're going to the theater. It's go home day 3, and we already woke up to drama. But I want to tell you what we did last night. So after walking around the city, I'd been texting my crew because my friend Dawn, whose son lives here, comes here all the time. She's like, you need to go see a show because our flight got canceled. So there's this app called Today Ticks, and I looked on it and she's like, you need to go see New York, it closes on Sunday. So I looked it up and there were tickets for $82 for the balcony. So all of us decided we were gonna go. So that was so cool. I ordered the tickets, they Venmo'd me the money, and then they're like, what about, let's go out to dinner beforehand. So she found a restaurant, and so we went out for Italian food, and then we went to the show, and it was so much fun. But the show started at 8, and it was gonna be like a 2-hour and like 45-minute show, and we had a van time, meaning we had to be in the lobby at 5:10 a.m., which means I had to get up at 4:10 a.m. Woo. So my goal, we got back to the hotel about 11:30, maybe a little bit before that. My goal was to be in bed by midnight. I made it into bed by like 11:40, and I was like, this is gonna hurt, but we were supposed to work one from LaGuardia to Nashville, and then we were supposed to have a 4-hour and 15-minute sit in Nashville. If we're in an outstation that's not a base, and we're there for 4 hours, they're required per our contract to get a hotel. So I was like, cool. As long as we don't go under that 4-hour mark, we can get a hotel, we can go take naps. It'll be awesome. So my alarm goes off at 4 this morning, and I check my board right away, and we already have about a 2-hour delay. And I'm like, shoot. We had a group text going, and I texted, or somebody texted. And then in the span of like 2 minutes, then we had a 4-hour delay. And I was like, what the heck is going on? So it come to find out that our D, because we're on an 800, so there needs to be 4 of us, was having to fly in today from Baltimore. So it wasn't gonna be here until 10. And that is bizarre. I swear it was the same D that we had yesterday. We're gonna have to talk to him and find out what happened, because if we needed a D, the company should have known that and could have changed our boards last night, but whatever. So our A called and got us a later report time because it was a 4-hour delay. And I was like, what the heck? So they let us stay at the hotel. We have to be downstairs in 20 minutes. They let us stay here in the hotel, so I got to go back to bed. But I had kind of a hard time falling back to sleep after chatting with them and figuring out when we had to go down for the van, but I did go back to sleep. So I'm almost completely packed up, and then we'll head downstairs. They did have to switch our deadhead. Originally, we were gonna get home back into Denver about 2 in the afternoon. Now we're gonna get there, I think about 4. I'll have to look. But the original trip, we weren't supposed to land until like 1:30 in the morning today. So it's been an amazing trip, probably one of the best trips I've ever had. It's a 3-day, we're only working 2 flights. We were at 29 hours, so that's what, 32 hours in New York City. And we had so much fun yesterday. I'm so glad I have such an awesome crew that was willing to go out. I'm gonna ask them if I can share the photos, but it was super fun. And so I think we can make it. Work 1 to Nashville. We have a 2.5-hour sit in Nashville, and then we're gonna deadhead home where we ride in a seat. So, whew, let's get out of here. Back at the car, and it's light out. This is unheard of. It's 5:17. So we got to the airport and there was no plane there. We thought it was gonna be an originator and we were only waiting for our D flight attendant. Originators are planes that spend the night. A terminator goes in at night, spends the night, and it originates in the morning, but it wasn't. And the D got to ferry the plane in from Baltimore. We knew he was coming from Baltimore, but we didn't know that that plane he was gonna be on was our plane. So he got to do something that's on my bucket list, which is be on a ferry flight. It was him and 2 mechanics, and then the pilots flying. So the pilots can leave the cockpit door open. You can go up there and check it out, and it doesn't have to be closed during flight. And I've never done it in 9 years. So this guy was super new, and he got to do a ferry flight. So worked the one from LaGuardia to Nashville, hour 46, and then we deadheaded home from Nashville after eating some lunch, and I'm home. So overall, a really great trip, like a great crew, like dinner, theater, so much fun. Now I'm going home, and I hope to see you guys next time in the sky.